Okay, I'm never good at starting off because I never know how to begin my intros. That's why we need people to create one for us so I don't have to keep reinventing this wheel. But you are listening to Martini at Brands. This is Martini.
Brandy here.
And we are finally recording in a studio, still using my wonderful phone, still using Anchor. We got a lot of things kind of going as far as progress that it's going to make our podcast even more fabulous. What you got new going on, Brandy? How you feeling this evening?
Tired. I am tired. It's been a long week, a very emotional week, a heavy week. I mean, if you're current, living the news, you know, Nipsey passed last Sunday.
A week from today.
A week from today. It was hard. I mean, it's crazy how people can ask you stupid things like, how are you affected? Or why are you crying? You didn't even know him. And I was messed up the whole week. I tell you, Sunday sent off like a ripple effects of emotions. It was like some type of paradox of like the spirits that cast over the ancestors must have, the land, it was an eerie feeling. I didn't get good sleep Sunday. I probably haven't gotten good sleep all week, to tell you the truth. Just a mix of emotions. I probably got back to normal by like Friday. I went to the beach. I'm burnt out. Yeah. I am burnt. I look like 3 shades darker.
She put on coconut oil.
I was trying to be one with the sun. I took my crystals out to charge them. I'm really just connect to the earth. I planted my feet in the sand. I needed it. When I tell you, it was a bad week of emotions. It was a bad week. I'm still not 100%, but I am getting back to moving. I know I talked to several people who said, Nipsey's passing kind of got them in the groove of things, like it made them be productive and to focus. And though I had a focus of, you don't have much time, you have purpose. There's so many things to be doing. You're focused on not the things you need to be doing. I was also on the opposite side of that, feeling like just all the emotions of earth. Like I was disappointed in us, just
by us, who
as
do you mean?
People,
as a whole,
as a whole, the righteous owners of the land, like the real people of the land, are the most distraught and disconnected as people, if you want to give it a label, if you want to say black people, people of color, people of minority. It's just, I was sad. I was sad for my babies. I was sad at the fact that I have 3 children and I really don't got shit for them. Like if I died tomorrow, they would have to be pulled from their home and shoveled and somebody else to figure out things, because I haven't figured out those things for my seed, my fruit that I bared. It falls from my tree, still being able to plant themselves into the earth and them grow. I don't feel that I've been nurturing, I guess, to, their whole program of being here. It was a hard week. It was a lot of things going on in my mind and things I need to get focused on. So it's been trying.
Yeah, for me, I don't want to go into conspiracy theories about it, because it bothers a lot of people to think like that there's really conspiracy behind it. But at the end of the day, we never know what people say behind closed doors. I truly believe that this person who did this heinous thing isn't even a human being. Like, I feel like that's a shaitan. That's a demon. You don't do take a life like that and just like, you just don't. So I don't even believe that's a human being. I don't feel bad for the person who did that and what's going to happen to him, because he's not even a human. So it don't even matter. It makes me, I want to say I don't want to say like fearful for my children, because I don't want to live in fear. Since his passing, there has been, change, and people are waking up, as far as like all the.
But are they really?
It
and
could
I
be
think
a fad
that's why
for the
I
moment.
was so heartbroken, because I had to really be honest, even with myself, and say, you are so busy, Brandy. Majority of your time, majority of your days, you're waking up and you're busy, but busy really doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are all moving so fast
to
but
go
going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest disappointment. That it's, you have a purpose. You have, and a big purpose. I've said this since I was a little girl. I remember I used to say things to my family like, I feel like I'm like a Martin Luther King. I feel like my purpose here is greater than my life. And I've always said this as a kid. And, during this week of this roller coaster of emotions, I was like, I have so many gifts, so many talents. I carry wisdom. I feel like sometimes I can't even deliver from my mind through my mouth to get people to understand it, but I'm not walking in those walks. I've always said I wanted lots of kids. 5 kids have been my number. And, I had to think about it over this past week. Like, me not just wanting kids is because, I just want to have a lot of kids. I like the idea of a big family. More so, children are like attracted to me. I become like a magnet for them. I think about when I'm at my kids' school volunteering, or when I meet new faces, or I see babies in the streets. Like, they're attracted to me. And I probably carry a presence and an energy that is supposed to lead these babies. You know what I mean? Like, really help and establish programs. I said it a few episodes back when I was talking about doing the IEP with my daughter and working into this system of schooling and how we're supposed to fit into this mold. I talked about, why aren't there any co-ops that really are out here for the benefit of the child and teaching and uplifting. I felt like I have been doing so much and not enough of anything to fulfill my divine purpose, my calling for children, my calling for people. The fact that I go out and I uplift. I found myself out maybe a few weeks ago, and I went in the bathroom like maybe 3 different times because the place was so crowded. I was waiting on Martina to come. She was at another event, ended up, not coming. So I kind of used the bathroom as like my escape to get away from the crowd and just, slide away. And every time I went into the restroom, I had
Brandy's confession.
Brandy bathroom confessions. Like, it was some girl in the bathroom who either was attracted to the presence or energy that I brought in to feel the need to want to spill their whole life in the bathroom, or I paid a compliment to, and that led over into another conversation. And I'm like, I've always had this energy where I was open and comfortable enough to pay people compliments or start conversations or spark up, a room, and I'm not doing anything with it.
So at this time, you don't feel like you're really walking in your purpose?
Not at all. Not at all.
So what do you feel you need to do that?
I mean, I don't know. That would be a whole set. I feel like I know, but to explain it on the radio to me goes back to, we're doing a whole lot of nothing and talking, and I'm blue in the face of talking. So to even explain it to the people, I feel like this was my moment to really wake up and say, get moving. Stop caring about the shit that you have no control over. Mm-hmm. Stop the worry. Stop the fear. And just move. Like, for me, I don't care about dying because I can't say that I lived until I die. Period. Mm-hmm. Like, I want, when I leave out of here, to be a party. Like, mm-hmm. I want to act a fool. Mm-hmm. I said, I want to get to the point where I record recordings every year to prepare for my death. You know, like at the beginning mm-hmm. of the year, I'm doing whatever marker you have as a new year, April, January. Every new year, I want to do a video that really just prepares the people to know, like, I have lived a life and fulfilled, you know, whatever my prophecy here is, whatever my walk is. So fear not of me not being here. Mm-hmm. It's the fear of being here and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like,
yeah. I think that's so scary because I'm actually reading 2 books. I've talked about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and now I'm reading a book that my girl Jeanette, hey Jeanette, shout out to you, girl. You Are a Badass, and they both kind of align as far as.
Wait, I have that book.
Yeah,
you told me about it.
Just Jen Cisnero or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
So why did you shout out Jeanette?
Oh, shout out to Brandy because she put me on game first. You know I'm terrible at remembering who told me.
Oh no, first. I'm thinking Jeanette wrote the book, girl. Like,
oh no.
I'm like, wait a minute. I have both those books. You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass at Making Money. And I'm like, what? This the homegirl?
Yeah, she my friend. You know, let's put that in the universe. We gonna get her on the podcast, okay? Put that in the universe. But it talks about what I've been reading about is purpose. And there's a lot, like you said, Brandy, a lot of people out here walking around doing nothing. Like, how is that not devastating? And the fact that you're walking this life doing nothing and not realizing that you're not doing nothing, that's crazy.
And you know what? It's so small. It's in every aspect of your life. Down to you simply letting somebody merge over in traffic. We are so consumed with being upset with things that does not matter.
Yeah.
Being affected and moved by things that have no purpose.
My ex-father-in-law told me yesterday when we were driving to the museum,
mm-hmm.
I let somebody over. He was like, why are you being so nice? I said, I don't know. Like, whatever, who cares?
Today I was going through Calabasas, and anybody knows who's familiar with the area, Calabasas, California, there's really only 2 ways in Calabasas and 2 ways out, okay? Mm-hmm. So, Old Road, Calabasas, when you are merging from Valley Circle onto Calabasas Road, there's only one right-hand turning lane for the people, well, really 2. It kind of splits in 2, okay? So, either you can merge onto the 101 or you're going to go through Calabasas Road. So before we got in, I got off the freeway at the 101 at the Mulholland Las Virgenes exit to make a left to merge and make a right onto mm-hmm. Calabasas Road. So because of what turning lane I was in, making the left onto Las Virgenes, I had to put on my blinker to now get over because, to be courteous, mm-hmm. I wasn't going to do a wide left turn into the right lane. Mm-hmm. So I turned off the freeway into my left lane and stayed into my left lane to put on my blinker to go into the right lane. However, I feel like, you know, when you put on your blinker, you're indicating, I'm giving you
yeah.
enough time to let you know
I'm getting over.
I'm going to get over. As soon as I have enough room to inch my car into there, I'm going to get over. Mm-hmm. For me not to inch my car, let me over. So this gentleman did not want to let me over. So I literally kind of stopped and then was like, okay, I don't like when people do this to me. So I quickly merged into the right and got in front of him. But as I got in front of him, when the road gets ready to split, when you make that right, I got over into the left lane after I made the right, so he would still, be able to have his own lane and get in front of me. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he pulled up next to me, he got right up on the car to look to see who I was. And I always assume people want to do that, A, to see if you're on your cell phone. And B, my second thought is always to see if you're a person of color. Yep, period. Okay? So I felt like as soon as he saw I wasn't on my cell phone, but I was a woman, and then I was a black woman, looked like an older Jewish guy or, shook his head. And the whole time he's shaking his head, he threw his hands up in the air. So we're stopped at a red light right now. So I honked my horn like, beep, beep.
Oh, here we go.
Rolled down my window. He rolls down his window. I didn't let him get an edge word in. I said, I had on my blinker. I said, and my blinker was indicating that I wanted to get over. I said, and I didn't think me getting over would be that impactful that you could not let me over. However, I want to thank you for letting me over. Thank you so much. Girl, he was so pissed. She just in his face, he rolled up his window. Couldn't say anything. And I was like, it's simple things like that. Like, what in his spirit made him feel that he couldn't let me over?
That you don't even know.
That if he stopped for that moment to just embrace it, like, okay, she has on her blinker. I see that there's nothing else that she can do. I see that she does not want to go straight. And the longer that I let her not merge over into this lane, the longer I could be affecting tons of people behind her. So by me just making this simple gesture to let her over, I make ease for more than just myself. And when he did not do that, and me just having to call him out on it and really get him to see, like, yo, you're in a rush and we're both sitting at the same red light.
Yeah, it's silly.
So you're trying to move so fast
to go nowhere.
And to get ahead of the same people that you're going to need to be right there with you. So it was like, for me, Nipsey passing, I know that profits and purpose, and people always say, you loosely throw around terms. I posted just on the Sunday that he passed. I quoted the Bob Marley song, like, how long should we let them kill our prophets while we stand inside and look? But, I definitely feel he was a prophet. I definitely feel...
He was 33 years
old. He died at 33. He lived, and it's funny that most prophets who walked the land had the hardest lives here. Hardest lives. It was never easy, If you go through the list of people you followed from, Gandhi or, Bob Marley or Malcolm or, Martin, or you look at all these people, none of them had it easy. They all sat in jail. They all lived hard lives. They watched their mama on drugs. They struggled. And because in order to see the greatest beauty in people and life, I feel like you have to go through the struggle. You can't be raised with a silver spoon in your mouth and blessed at every corner. And, there has to be triumph for you to walk and speak and care for the people. You have to come from what the average folks come from. And the average folks come from a struggle.
And what's funny? Like, I feel like my internal struggle, because I want to leave something behind for my children. Wealth as far as finances, wealth as far as experiences and love, and because for me, wealth is more than just money. But then I worry, like, if I have wealth financially, will they even know how to be humble, or will they know what? Yeah, my kids. Will they know what it means to struggle and pull themselves through, or will they be like these weird kids that you see on TV, where they're just completely oblivious of people's struggles, and not only oblivious, but sympathetic to people's struggles. Empathy is huge.
But I guess that's when it comes into having purpose of everything you do. Like, you can have a ton of money, but are you being purposeful with that money? Are you teaching your children to still get out here and pay attention, communicate, look up, open your eyes? touch the people. You know, I've heard so many people say this week, like, oh, I'm tired of seeing Nipsey on my timeline. Shame on you. I can see it on my timeline, seriously, for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Same as I see Bob on my timeline and love every picture, every time I read a Bob Marley quote. Mm-hmm. Every time I see Malcolm and I read a quote that is so profound to this very moment. You know, I just saw a clip of him saying, you go to these other neighborhoods and...
Malcolm?
Yes.
Okay.
And you see Asian markets. You see Latin markets. You see all these other things in our neighborhoods. But when you go to their neighborhoods, do you see them? I've always made this kind of reference. Like, everything here in the U.S. is made in China. But when you go to China, you do not see Phillips Barbecue.
Right.
You don't see Randy's Donuts. You don't. I know In-N-Out Burger is a Western thing, but you don't see things that are accustomed to our neighborhoods. Liquor stores that say liquor banks. Why is it still that in 2019 you cannot go to the city of Inglewood and every single business is black owned? Mm-hmm. And I mean black of the heart of the city. Be it your t-shirt company that you started, be it a mom and pop's vegan bakery, whatever it is, we still have Asian people on every corner in our communities, and then we walk around and say that we have purpose and we're building something for our futures, our seeds that we planted. Nothing. We haven't done any work. And Nipsey passing just let me know, like, it is very few of us out here doing the work for the people. Doing the work for the people that's going to be impactful for our future. The future of these little ones, impacting our neighborhoods, buying our communities back. All week, I was messed up. I had a whole playlist. I had a whole messed up, sad, want to cry, spill my spirit out playlist. I listened to a ton of Kanye. I know a lot of people go hard on Kanye, but if you listen to a lot of Kanye's words that he has said a lot of the same things, like, wake up, people, buy our 40 acres back. On one of his bars, it was, we still want our 40 acres, but you want to go out and get a Benz. You know what you're going to be? A nigga in a Benz.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's going to know you worked hard to get that Benz. Not you worked hard to get an asset to pay for the Benz. You worked hard on the job just to pay for the Benz. And then you have no assets outside of that. So while you're spending money to keep this Benz, you're not making money to pay for your Benz. Big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is it called? Liabilities.
Liabilities. You're just buying a ton of liabilities, but no assets. Mm-hmm. You know what rich people do? They buy assets. Mm-hmm. They buy an asset and let an asset fuel their luxuries.
Mm-hmm. Make money.
Make the money to spend on these luxuries. You get what I'm saying? It's like we go out in our community and we think about the luxuries, and Nipsey said that so well. All that shit don't matter. You can't pay your mama and grandma back with material things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to pay your mama and grandma back with, like, the goodness of your heart, your work, your love, your energy you put in this stuff. Mm-hmm. And for me, this week, I physically I felt the energy that I have wasted on things that aren't they're just liabilities. Mm-hmm. I've wasted so much energy, so much time. I thought about the money that has flowed through my hands.
My friends once said we're all millionaires at some point. We are. We were all millionaires if you really thought about it, but we just keep burning off.
But we just keep burning off. We just keep tricking off. And then we make excuses like, well, didn't nobody teach me about credit, and nobody taught me this, or it's just sad. It definitely was an awakening. I definitely felt the shift in the universe. He fell on Sunday, and the whole week was heavy. I did not sleep. I cried every day.
You cried watching Coco today.
I cried, yes. I cried watching Coco. Boo-hoo. Got to the part where he was sitting in front of his grandma Coco, and he's like really crying, and you felt it. His little cartoon character eyes filled up with tears, and he's like, you know, Grandma Coco trying to get the grandma to understand, like, I've gone to the other side. I've talked to our family in death. You know, it's heavy. It's just, I've realized, like, we don't even, this is why I'm burnt up, okay? Backtrack. I went to the beach. I rubbed myself down with coconut oil. I took my crystals. I laid every crystal that I owned across my body to charge, to take the energy from the earth. I learned so much this week. I learned that your left hand pulls from the universe. Did you know that? That your left hand pulls from the universe and your right hand puts back out into the world, which you've pulled from the universe, right? And I'm a lefty. So that struck me. So that struck me even stronger, that I was born a lefty. I was naturally born to pull energy, okay, from the universe, natural, gifted from birth, okay, to pull it. Then I'm a Virgo, one of the strongest signs.
Boy, my
in
eyes
the
are crossed
astrology.
right now.
Look, no,
here we
you
go.
know. So I was at the beach because I said, we say as people, and this was a Bob Marley quote, we love the rain, but yet we'll go out and we'll put up an umbrella. Make it make sense. We love the wind, but we'll close our windows when it's chilly. We won't let the wind pass through. We love the sun, but then we'll block it out. So do we really love these elements, or do we just say that we love them? So I went out like, you need to be one with the sun. Number one, my third eye can't even be open unless I let the sun penetrate me, okay? So I went out there, burnt up, trying to get my third eye to open. Clear my balance, my chakra, clear my energy. The beach, for me, just, I feel like you just give it back to the universe. Whenever, first of all, I was at the beach, on my way to the beach, when I heard Nipsey died.
You spoke that into existence. You said you wanted to go to the beach more, and now you're going to the beach more.
I'm going to the beach more, I am. But I was headed to the beach when I heard Nipsey got shot. I was at the beach when I heard he didn't make it. And it was funny because a lot of people that I know that Sunday was at the beach.
I was at the
by
beach.
coincidence. Random. So to me, that just showed you that this prophet was going to fall, because people who are the most connected, I feel like, in earth, that was going to feel the pressure, they were at the beach on some randomness, hanging out. So many people I know was at the beach.
That's crazy.
And it's probably only because the beach is where you can really go to really cleanse, to really rejuvenate, the water to the sand to the sun, the reflection of land, everything. So I've been going out to the beach a lot more. I'm probably going to go tomorrow. I would love to get there all week to, you know, kind of keep balance. But it was an awakening to do what I need to do.
I hope it was everybody's awakening to really understand what their purpose is.
Like,
I didn't really, I guess, I don't know, for me, turning, you know, going into your mid-30s was my wake-up call. And then, you know, separations and really trying to understand what my purpose is, and like how I'm finding out and learning is by listening to others, and really listening to others. When somebody gives me a compliment about what I do, or, you know, you're really good at that, and like really listening to it and like building on that, because clearly I must be good at that if that's what they're telling me I'm good at. You know, nobody has to tell you nothing positive, especially in a world filled with negativity.
We live in.
Yeah, so if somebody's telling you something, yo, you know, you're really good at writing, or you're really good at expressing yourself, like, maybe I really am. And maybe that's a skill that I need to strengthen and really focus on, because God speaks through people.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I've been asking God, Allah, the universe, to send me messages and signs of what my purpose is, either be it through people, through numbers, signs, whatever. I need to be open to everything, because I don't want to miss out on my purpose. Like,
but you were the only setback of missing out. And realizing that part, that we put so much blame into everything else, but it's just us.
And that's a really hard.
Your purpose. I mean, like, the key thing is there. You know your purpose. You're just so close off that you can't even see it. Yeah. You're blocking yourself. Nobody else is there. You don't have to keep asking for the answers. It's there already. It's just that there is so much focus on the things that don't matter.
It's that people put stuff on us
on top of us. We carry a lot. Absolutely, I agree. We carry a lot. We focus on the dumb. We're worried about. Let me give you just an example of how a mind can be thinking about something and not seeing a clear picture. We had a conversation about spirit animals. You had came to me, random conversation, and my daughter did not hear this conversation, okay? Martina was saying she felt like her spirit animal was an elephant. And it was funny because, I'll, after this, talk about numbers and, seeing different things. But Martina was saying, I think my spirit animal is an elephant because I see it a lot. I'm attracted to it. I've always liked elephants. The tattoo I'm working on is elephants, so she had this whole thing. So in closing, she had went under my kitchen cabinet to get a recycle bag, and she pulls out a Home Goods recycle bag that has this beautiful, colorful elephant on it. So random, jump from this conversation I was having with Martina. About 3 days later, Marley Jean was sitting at the table with me. We were doing homework. And she was like, I was thinking about everybody in the house, and I thought about what everybody's spirit animals were. And she said, I'm a jaguar or a leopard. And I was like, perfect. Because since Marley has been born, she's had an attraction with wildcats. And I've always said, another life, a walk, either she died with a leopard, one protected her, maybe she was one in a form, I don't know. Maybe one slept under her tree in another lifetime. Leo, right? She is a Leo. So, I mean, I guess a lion, but, not to naturally pick your zodiac sign. She is attracted to big, wild cats. So when she said that, she was like, that's me. And then she gave Daddy his sign. Ian is a Taurus. She said Daddy is a bull. And she was like, but because he acts so much like a bull. And if you know Ian, he really does. Like, I sometimes feel like bulls probably are the most docile animals, but have to be the most aggressive because of the environment that they're put in to react. Very bull-like. She had named what her two brothers was, and I can't remember. So then she got to me, and I was just like, I know I'm about to be something dope, right? My baby says to me, you want to know what your spirit animal is? And I was thinking about it after you had this conversation, like, I wonder if I could have an Alabrije come and speak to me, if my guides could come and tell me what it was. My baby said, you're a beaver. Exactly. So you laughed. And when she said it, I was kind of like, a beaver? Like, they not even cute. That was the first thing I thought about, right? So I'm thinking presence of a beaver, what they look like they short, they stumpy, stupid looking, like a beaver, like out of all things. And here comes my baby with the bars. Listen to the kids. I said, a beaver? She said, yeah, Mom. She said, because beavers can build strong homes. And she said, and you're very strong. And she was like, and you build a very strong home. It broke my heart. I think I cried in the inside.
Here we go.
I just didn't let her know.
You're like, excuse me, one moment.
Excuse me. Let her know I was crying. Because I said, here I am, so small mind, that all I could think about is what the hell a beaver looks like. Not the purpose that a beaver serves in nature. My baby told me, beavers can pick up logs with their tails, and they're such small animals. She said they're great in strength. Okay, hit me with all kinds of bars. But the power of knowing that I do so much work in my home, I do so much work with my kids. It is a thankless job. Nobody says thank you. Very rare. Like Marley is in good habits that because I've made it accustomed to ask them every day about their day, they reciprocate the question now and ask me, Mom, how was your day? Just by nature. But it's a thankless job. I do so much. But the fact that she could say, what you know how to do is build a strong home, touched my heart so deep. Like, you notice, you see that this effort that I take, but just thinking about that and thinking about where my mind went, that's how small mind we are sometimes. That it's like, we care so much about imagery. For me, I wanted to hear a great animal. Like, here I am. I was really thinking about it. I really asked and posed the question. I didn't have one. I just posed the question of curiosity to want to know. Like, I wonder what my spirit animal would be. And a few days later, out of just posing the question in my mind, I talk to God all the time. I put out questions into the universe and they become answered. My daughter says to me, you are a beaver. And I didn't go look for any other signs. I'm not about to go get a beaver tattooed on me. But it was an eye opener. Like, stop looking and wanting certain answers that might not be the answers, and it's the wrong answers for all the wrong things. You want a nice spirit animal because you want a spirit animal that looks dope, but not that serves a dope purpose. Fuck looking dope. Fuck sounding dope. Fuck being cool. I tell my 6-year-old this all the time because that's all he says. I wear this, I'm cool. If I do this, I'm cool. And I always have to tell him, cool is a state of mind. Like, there is no object that makes you cool. That shit is made up. It's a state of mind. You want to be cool, represent coolness in your walk of life. Let somebody else deem you as, that brother is cool. Not, I'm fly, I'm popping, so it was definitely, like I said, an eye-opener to this whole week. Even you had mentioned just right now, numbers. I used to think I was going to die at 33. I said it for a long time because before my 33rd birthday came, that whole year before I turned 33, all I saw was the number 33. I have never stopped seeing it since my 32nd year of life going into my 33rd year of life, which was my hardest year of life. 33? Okay, 33, heavy. I went through so much, and it was all I could think about was the prophecies, like Jesus died at 33, and I had studied the number and looked into things, and it was just like, the universe is speaking to you. You're on the right path. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. Even after I turned 33, my 33rd year, like I said, I went into heaviness. I've been homeless with all my kids, lived in a hotel. It's been a lot. To fast forwarding, whenever I'm going through something, whenever something is about to come in, I see the number 33, I laugh at it, I take pictures. My whole cloud is filled with the number 33. Because every time I see it in a meal, on a ticket, on a fortune ticket, on a license plate, it could be a reflection that's doubled up on I see it so much. It speaks to me. Then Nipsey dies. He dies at 33. The whole week, I got all kinds of signs and visions. And I'm like, I hear you loud and clear that my purpose is greater than my life. Let me start walking in it. So that way, when I do die, I'm dying fulfilling my prophecy for the people, movement of the people. We talked about this on a podcast before where I said, I'm very much so earth. I'm so connected with people that it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I get so affected and emotionally charged by things of earth. I'm impacted by so much. That is for a reason. It's not just because I'm an emotional spirit. Mm-hmm. No, I truly believe it's because I'm carrying something far greater than the air that I breathe. That's probably why I have so many troubles with my asthmatic breathing because it's so heavy on what I have to get out and what I have to bestow upon the land, my children, the people around me, that is heavy. It's so heavy for my spirit in this little vessel that we call a body. And the whole week, I felt it. What?
Can we have a moment of comedic relief since you're so in tune with the earth and the people?
Come on.
So when did I come over?
Wednesday
when I came over. Oh my God. So, Brandy pretty much, we were driving to run errands, and she's pretty much, telling me what she's telling you guys now as far as how she feels about Nipsey. And this car was driving wild. I don't know. I was staring out the window daydreaming, and this
driving wild.
Driving wild.
Reckless.
And she honked on the horn, and then we actually, in a rush to go nowhere, we stopped at a red light, and Brandy's like, I just can't. I can't. I'm like, oh God, what's finna happen? So she gets out the car. She's like, no, I can't. And the girl comes out.
Hops out.
Completely disheveled. Okay. First of all, she had on the tiniest shorts with her zipper all the way down. Like, it was like she was masturbating in the car. I mean, I don't see any other reason why to have your pants that wide open. Wig was twisted to the side. It was crazy. And all I see is arms filling. You want to scrap?
She jumped out the car and asked me, did I want to scrap?
Did she want to scrap? She looking at me.
I walked all the way up on the girl.
Yeah, she put her arms on her. She said, What'd you say? What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
She goes, I'm on drugs.
It was so funny because when I got out of the car, literally, you would have thought 100% we were about to fight. But when I tell you that the whole week I was off, that if I did fight, it probably would have been bad. I probably would have ended up in jail because I would have blacked out, But that just shows you that the spirits were over me. There was no fighting that was to take place. You basically are a healer. I feel like I am a healer of things. I got in the car. This girl was, she pretty much licked me up to size me up. Was like, oh, you want to scrap? Looked like she was about to be down to throw blows in the middle of the street. I got all the way up on her face. In her face. Yeah. And she said something, and I went, what's wrong with you? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, why are you being like this? And she was like, she got stuck. She was trying to get the words out. She was like, because I'm on drugs. I was like, and it's clear. I said, but you are beautiful, and you don't need to do all of this. And she got quiet. She couldn't say nothing.
She fixed her little pants and got back in the car.
Taking it back. Like, nobody probably has taken the time out to even speak those few words to her. With your wig lopsided, your makeup is a mess, you look like a train wreck, and it probably was exactly what she said it was. She been on drugs, she's probably a user, she out here trying to find her next high, probably dealing with sorry men that are draining your spirit. Because for every crackhead I know, they always got a man. I don't know one crackhead that stay without a man. Okay, I got auntie who is on drugs. Every time you see her, she got a new man. Like, well, damn, does it come hand in hand when you go buy your rock? You get your man. I don't know.
You get a man.
But it was, you could see it in her face that when I spoke the words that I said to her, I placed my hands upon her. I was like, you don't got to do all of this. You speeding through the streets. I was like, you out here looking crazy.
She was.
You're beautiful. You don't need to do this. It just stopped her.
And I was like,
dead in her
what
tracks.
did you say to her? I was like, cause I said, you mess up her, she was about to come and you done fucked her up.
Messed her whole shit up, you know? So I guess that was funny, because the whole time up until that point, I was crying in the car. Crying, talking, crying. I would stop for a minute, have another conversation, cry some more. It was, you know, you guys, it was heavy. I'm still feeling it. I feel for Lauren London. I feel for Cross. I feel for his daughter, his mother. I'm not even sure if his grandmother was still alive. I meant to Google or, you know, research his brother. You know, it's hard when you are the family of somebody who is that powerful and that strong of an entity that sometimes you may miss the message. It's easy for other people to say it and you hear it. But because he meant so much, it may be hard for them to get out of this rut of knowing he's not coming back. And how do you get through it? So I felt for the whole entire family. I felt for everybody, myself, anybody in the community who loved him. It took me back to Tupac. Tupac died. I remember getting in trouble crying over Tupac's death. And I said
by
this
your mama?
To Martina, by my mom. And it was crazy because, you know, when you're younger, sometimes you're not given the tools to know how to pop back. And that's one thing about my children, that I want them to challenge everything. Even me at times, because I don't always have the answers. And I'm not always right. So I may tell you something that may not be right or sit right, because it could be whatever I was going through at that moment. Challenge it. Tupac died. I remember my mom coming home. She came in the room. I was boo-hooing. And she was like, what's going on? You know, I think it was more, she was concerned as a mother, like, you in here crying, like, you lost your best friend, what's going on? I told her Tupac died. She got upset. Like, you don't even know that man. I wasn't smart enough to tell my mom back then, like, and you didn't know Malcolm or Martin for that man, or Harriet.
Or Kennedy,
any of these people that, you know, passed that was for a movement, the revolution. You didn't know them. But you still was impacted. You still taught us about them. So the nerve of you to say, I can't cry, because spirits you feel. You don't have to know a person to feel a spirit. You don't have to walk with them every day to know and see their work and see the impact that they made on the people. And you hear lyrics that fester in your spirit, that takes you back to moments of your life where you were there with the struggle. Like, I've gone through some real shit in my life. Even still to this day, I'm cleaning up shit on my credit, on my record, on my life, on my walk of things that I've done, living a life when times got hard. You know, and it's like, I'm still affected. I'm still very much so affected. So you won't hear me say, I'm tired of seeing Nipsey. I can never be tired of seeing a prophet. I can never be tired of seeing somebody that was sitting here to give us a message that is greater than the air and the movement that we're doing every day. It was a wake-up call to these people out here that's fake, woke. I don't even give a damn. You want to be woke? You want to be fake, woke? You want to be in the matrix? Don't come over here. Don't come over here trying to say your lies, your stories, your figments of your imagination. I need the Gucci and Prada. I cleaned up my house. I gave Martina my Tommy Hilfiger sweater. I got rid of stuff that I was like, I'm not wearing, don't want to represent it. I don't want these brands. I don't want to stand for this. I don't want to be one of those persons that are like, I got my Gucci Prada, because Gucci and Prada ain't coming and doing nothing in my neighborhood. Gucci and Prada is not setting up co-ops for my little brown babies to learn anything. Gucci and Prada are not helping my community to build generational wealth. What it does is pride on our wealth and continue to keep us poor. It makes us buy into this idea of buying into riches and finances when all the shit we owned before. And we still sitting here for validation, looking for validation through material things. Shame. I don't want my children to have to worry about, if I leave, how their life is going to be. I want it to be so in place that if I die, there is an executor of my estate, and my kids get to stay right where they are up until they turn 18.
Mm-hmm.
This is your home. This room, this bedroom, this home, this kitchen, this everything you know, because I built it, this is our village, this is yours. It's just mommy's not coming home no more. Mm-hmm. Or daddy's not coming home anymore. Not you pass away and your whole life is uprooted because you lost a parent.
Not only is it uprooted, you leaving behind debt.
Debt.
For them to pay.
Like, and you think about that. These are the cycles. You know, it's crazy when you hear a lot of statistics kind of justify the ratio of black babies without their dads. But then if you go down through history and the lineage of lines, you've been killing off our black dads, right? Mm-hmm. Black Panther parties, you think about the Black Panthers that were murdered, killed off because they were a threat. They were a threat to this bigger picture. They had children. They left children behind. Their children grew to have children. So inheriting debt is passed down from generation to generation. So instead of generational wealth, we're transferring generational debt, okay? Mm-hmm. And then we get fast forward to 2019 and we're like, the number of black-owned properties or the number of black-owned businesses are very far few like in between.
0.001.
But because of you killing these
you
black
killing us
babies,
and you throwing us in jail.
You killing us and you throwing us in jail. You keep us in jail. But jail, 13th Amendment, we all know, that's to make money, but the money's not coming back into our communities. No, it's keeping the rich man rich. Mm-hmm. And us poor, and our babies poor. And when our babies have babies, they babies poor. So for me, Nipsey passing, again, I get back to wake up call. Buy your land back at every cost. Mm-hmm. And buy your land. I have said this before. I've said this to you. I don't know if I've said this on air. I ain't even into, I need $1 million house. Fuck that. Give me that empty lot right there.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, like, not many people know.
Buying land is so much cheaper than buying a home.
Mm-hmm. And home is just, is more debt. I find it funny when people, I own a home. Well, if your home isn't paid off, you don't own that home. Mm-mm. And if the government,
the bank owns that home.
The bank owns a home, and if you
on these 30-year fixed income, fuck that. Make your money, like Nipsey said. Cut out the middleman. Make your money. Go out here at every cost. I think I said this to you on Wednesday when I was crying in the car. We live in a system that teaches us baby our cubs, but when you go out into the wild and you look at a cub. They follow behind the mom up until the point that they need to go out and hunt on their own, up until the point that they are strong enough to start doing the work on their own, right? Mm-hmm. We have children. We tell our children they're not strong until they're 18. Mm-hmm. Don't go be productive. Go play sports that I'm paying for to keep you in. So, again, it is these liabilities, okay? Sports in youth is liabilities. Mm-hmm. You're paying for it. It's not paying you back. You get a dumb trophy, okay? Mm-hmm. The very minute of great job.
This little plastic.
Piece of plastic. And then we turn around and we pay more money to put you in another sport that's really not going to do anything until you turn 18, and we're looking forward to that scholarship. So I paid basically $1 million to get you to 18, to spend more debt, to get you into college, to get you this piece of paper, okay, to say you're worthy now. You play these sports. Oh, you did good. Hopefully you get a scholarship. You go to college. Now you're ready for the real world. Mm-hmm. Why don't we prepare our children to be ready for the real world at the tender age of 3? My daughter loves pickles, you guys. pickles. But I could put 600 jars of pickles in the refrigerator and she'll be happy. Refrigerator, pickles, and water. I said to her not too long ago, Marley, as much as you eat pickles and enjoy them and know the taste, and when you taste one, you could be like, oh, that's not it. It's not crispy enough. It's not tangy. It needs a little bit more garlic. I said, you need to make your own pickles. But as parents, we won't push our children to start businesses now. Why not? Why must they wait until they're 18? Why do we have this idea of, oh, let me take care of you your whole, all these 18 years doing nothing, wasting my money, stressing me out, creating debt, extra debt, and then turn 18 and get more debt when you could have been starting businesses.
And then when they finally turn 18 and they're done with college, they're like, well, what do I do with my life now? Well, nobody wants to hire me. Well, what do I do? I don't know who I am. Maybe I should get married and have babies because that's
exactly. And keep this dumb cycle of moving too fast, doing absolutely nothing, making babies that you don't set anything up for your seeds. You're a planted tree. So if your fruit falls from your tree and hits the ground and goes into the earth, it needs to be able to sprout and develop another tree, not a twig, not a weed.
Right, no little stupid flowers. They get ripped out.
No, you need to have a stump, roots deeply rooted into the earth. One cannot do that unless one is given the right nutrients into that tree. Like, you are pulling the nutrients from earth. You're taking the sunlight. You're taking the vitamins. You're taking the water, and making your tree fruitful to bear these fruits. We must bear fruits. We must not let Nipsey's work go in vain. We must not let his words be lost. We must listen to them every day. If you need to wake up, you need to put on his songs. You need to look at his quotes. You need to listen to interviews. You need to dig back and take him and listen to a few of the other prophets of the land that have walked, that have spoke, that have tried to wake us before they left. Now is the time to wake. Now is the time to really become woke on what your purpose is, what you need to fulfill, what you are planting back into the earth. Buy our communities back. We are the Jews. We are the chosen people. This is why they kill us. This is why they create this black on black crime and they making clones. It's just crazy that all this kind of stuff happens. Jordan Peele just showed us how easy it is to manipulate voice and media with his new video he did with Obama, showing it can look like him talking, but it could be a whole nother person behind, the camera. And we still don't believe in this conspiracy theory shit. We still out here thinking, oh, it's us that's holding ourselves. I mean, it is us holding ourselves back. However, it's us holding ourselves back in a system that wasn't created for us to make it. Let's get smarter than the system. Stop waiting for the system to teach us, because the system wasn't set up to teach us. The shit ain't gonna school us. You smarter than the system.
Okay. So your thought, you want to wrap up your thought? Do you remember what you were saying?
I did, but we'll talk some more. You want more than an hour?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Well,
so thought.
For me, since this conversation was about purpose, Nipsey inspiring us to really work and find our purpose, to be woke and stay woke. I like how everything these days is like, oh, you woke. Oh, you my phone broke. But
because my phone is broke.
To the third power, broke.
iPhone fucking sucks. It's so cool, but yeah, it's so fucking sucky.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
It is the shittiest phones ever. It's what the hell I need to do. Figure out how to make a manufacturing company that can make a goddamn better phone than damn Apple. iPhone.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, like don't want to digress too much. I find my purpose. I love going to the beach. I love just sitting there and gazing into the nothingness of the water and the earth and the sky and trying to figure out like where does it end and where does it begin, and just getting lost in its vastness. And it brings me to a reality that I'm pretty insignificant in comparison to all of this. Like, just, and we're only here for such a short time, and I don't want to spend this life wasting my time living out somebody else's dream, living out somebody else's idea of what my life should be. So for me, I try to block out all the noise that is of other people's opinions, and other people's opinions are come from people who love me and care, and I understand their intention, but I don't want it to divert me from my purpose. And me finding my purpose is an ongoing thing. It's not something that, oh, I know what that is, let me just do that. I feel like it's evolving and it changes, and that's okay. So for me, I have to learn to be okay with the change and the evolution and the twists and turns. But as long as I stay on this path that is mine and true to me, I think I'll be all right. Any last thoughts, Brandy?
Change your heart. Change your damn heart. Open it up. Be kind. If you're not doing stuff with kindness, you're not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all. And seriously. Everything. The person who cuts you off in traffic. The boss that makes you feel like shit. The person who doesn't say thank you. Communicating. Look up. Have a conversation with a homeless person. They give you the best knowledge. Change your heart. Be kind. Be here.
Be fucking nice.
For the people. Make a difference. You know, it's about that difference, man. Listen to some Bob.
And also, I believe...
Listen to Gandhi. Go read Gandhi's words. Go put on some Tupac. Like, play that Nip. Mm-hmm. It is not a race. It's a fucking marathon. Mm-hmm. Like, let's not forget that. The marathon shall continue. Mm-hmm. How long do you run a marathon? 26.1 miles. People go a mile and think they went far. Mm-hmm. It's a marathon. It's an everlasting run.
You can train for a marathon.
You have to train. It's everlasting. But the training is in what you've done. Mm-hmm. Up until the point that you realize you've entered into the marathon. You got your number. Okay? Like, you really have to think about that. So, it ain't no conclusion until you get to your conclusion, until they spreading your ashes around the earth, or they about to have a funeral for you at the Staples Center. Your conclusion ain't a conclusion until the hell you get there. In the meantime of getting there, get into this marathon and run these miles and make them count. Don't fall out. Don't be dehydrated. Mm-hmm. Don't try to trip up the person next to you. Stay in your lane. Play your position. Mm-hmm. Get your fucking shit together. And get it together for your babies, for your mothers, for your grandmothers, for the ones that are blinded, that cannot see. Help them see. Help them. Guide everybody. I think about how the struggle is so real for me, how it is real for other people around me. Make it better. Make it purposeful. Like, our babies are counting on us. Like, counting that we set them up for success. And that's all we can do. Set our communities up for success. People are always talking about gang banging. All these gangbangers. Nipsey was a hood man, love the hood. I'm still, you said it, conspiracy theories. I'm not going to go into detail. That man led the hood and was there every day, giving back, making a difference. I can't tell somebody not to love the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell somebody, oh, don't feel comfortable in the gang. Feel comfortable. But give these gang members the opportunity. Show them, like, yo, you could bang on the streets of Calabasas and your neighborhood could still look like Calabasas while you banging. Mm-hmm. You could still love. Niggas is dying for the streets where they mamas is renting. Mm. That was on one of the bars on my song for my lineup for the week. For my depressing lineup to just cry. Okay?
That's a hella deep ass one.
Niggas is dying for streets that they mamas rent on.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here. You don't even own the block and you dying for this shit. Own the block before you go dying for the block.
Mm-hmm. One of the social media posts that went up with Nipsey when he was talking about how when he would go out and hunt, he was looking for somebody who looked like him on the other side. I'm like, if that's not a mindfuck for that ass, I don't know what is. Like, you're literally hunting yourself. That's mind blown.
Mind blowing.
Crazy.
You know, so don't hunt ourselves. Heal ourselves. Help ourselves. And if you have hunted yourself, be like Nip. Change it up. You don't always got to be a killer. Mm-hmm. You don't always got to be a banger. And start banging for the shit that matters.
Right.
Buy your neighborhood. If you selling dope, it better be to buy the first house on the block where you selling in front of. Mm-hmm. And after you buy that first one, buy the second one.
Next door.
So if you got to sell that dope, sell the dope to buy the whole block. And then after you buy the whole block, then go to City Hall and see what you can start implementing. Mm-hmm. See what changes you can start doing for the businesses. See what businesses you can open up. And so what if it was built on drug money? So was Miami.
So was this whole country. It was built on somebody else's back, on somebody else's
blood. So people always want to holler about slavery and on the boats and we didn't get this. We got every opportunity to get it. We are the most forgiving people there are. The most forgiving. We always turn the other cheek because we don't know how not to do it. We are the land. Listen, we're the only ones connected to it. And shame on us for not knowing how to take it back. Take this shit back. So in conclusion, post-Nip, ride this marathon. I'm never going to be burnt out on it. I ain't tired. I can see his prophet face every day with that perfect nose and that beautiful skin and them tattoos that look like they was painted on by a paintbrush from the heavens, okay? Mm-hmm. Give it to me. I send my blessings to Lauren London. I send my blessings, as much energy that I could bring from the earth that I got from my crystals burning up at the beach. I send that out. I just want to uplift anybody who is hurt, who is broken, who needs direction, in any love and energy that I can suffice to give them to be uplifted. I want to give it. And yeah, just say, get moving, but get moving with purpose. Mm-hmm. Stop moving fast and going nowhere because it's not doing anything for anyone. Stop talking about you just staying busy because busy is not productive. Mm. Not at all.
Facts.
Work
Absolutely.
smart. Build generational wealth. Educate. Pick up a book. Pick up a book and read the things that matter. We don't read enough. You know, we use Google as everything, but Google still ain't going to tell us everything. Mm-hmm. Pick up a book. Discover new things about yourself, you know. So in learning your past, that path, you know, you just said it's going to be something that's forever changing. Discover.
Mm-hmm. And in discovering yourself, discover the things that you don't like about yourself and that makes you uncomfortable because that's who you are. And embrace the good, bad, and the ugly of yourself because that's the only way to grow. And that's the only way to really gain true acceptance of yourself. And nobody can argue you down if you know who you are.
If you know who you are. Stop going home, arguing with our men. That's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. Stop tearing one another down. Women to women, you know, you listen to Dr. CB. We didn't get to talk about him at all. We'll have to come back, a whole nother podcast. But, listen to some of his speeches and know just the power of the woman and how to uplift yourself and how to conduct and hold yourself, because you really are the glue to everything. Like, our men probably will continue to keep falling. So become strong in knowing who you are, especially if women out there, we might be the ones to buy all the land back. I mean, I kind of think it's harder to kill a woman prophet. I do. I really feel like it's easier to kill man. But make a difference. Make a true impact that is gonna stand for something. Because if you don't, you already know you'll fall for anything. And we don't want to keep falling.
Don't fall for the okie doke.
Don't fall for the okie doke. It's a game of chess. The queen is to protect the king all the way to the end. Protect our kings. Stop these meaningful arguments. Meaningless. I'm sorry, meaningless, because I said meaningful. They're not meaningful. Meaningless arguments with men. Stop competing with man. Woman is not to compete with man. It's in a completely different ballpark. Make money, and make money to put back into your communities. So many things we're going to have to bring up in topic the next time we talk. I can't believe we didn't talk about Dr. I don't even know how to say his name right. Sabi.
I guess.
We didn't talk about him at all. And I've been listening to him all week, too. And just when I just started talking about woman, well, we've talked about being a woman during International Women's Month, but Dr. CB had a lot of profound things to say about being woman and how woman is to lead and man comes from woman. There's no way that man can lead woman when man comes from woman's vagina. When I heard him say that, I was like, yo.
I've been saying that.
Yeah, he's deep. He's as deep as I. Like, I'm deep, y'all. Like, I mean, you could probably tell from how much I will ramble onto this podcast. So moving forward, that you guys know, we're going to get a writing team. We're building our team. We're going to start having interviews come in. That was just a sidebar of me thinking about how deep I get, so that when we have guests on, we're asking all the right questions. But again, we've only been starting getting our feet wet, but we're moving into a direction that makes sense. And we'll definitely have the podcast doing things that are impactful. Street team needs to be out, touching these babies, changing lives, getting them to know how great they are, teaching finance classes and money management and all sorts of things, So with the podcast, we hope that great things will continue to reign in.
Great things will continue to reign in. And we're going to manifest
that. Yes. Using this platform to create a strong foundation for this village.
Our village.
We're building. So you know that you've listened to Martini at Brands. It's late night on... It's Sunday
now.
No, it's Monday. In studio.
At Radio Free KJLH.
KJLH.
Stevie Wonder's radio station.
Did Theo used to be on KJLH?
No. I think he was only on the beat.
Did we say this before? Where is Theo?
I don't know. Theo, where you at?
Okay.
You getting called out.
Theo. Love the voice. I need vocal training. If you could hit me up at I Am Brand, Instagram, Facebook. I need some proper vocal training.
I Am Brand 33.
Oh, duh. I Am Brand 33. Exactly. Didn't I just talk about the 33 earlier, you guys? See? It's in my Instagram name. It's in everything. 33. I am hunted by the 33. Which means, my mind is going to tell me I'm a prophet too.
Oh, boy.
I am a prophet.
Here we go. I'm
I am
cutting
a
this off
fallen
right
angel.
now.
Look, I am a fallen angel with so much info. So hit me on my private line, on my spiritual line.
Mm-hmm.
Call me. I have the
Anytime.
wisdom. We need to definitely make sure you throw in a little ching, a little chimes on those. But thank you guys for listening. Seriously, we appreciate the love. We have some good contests and things coming up for
some giveaways for April.
Fun things happening. Make sure you stay on the Instagram page. Shout out to all our winners from the last few months. Mm-hmm. Our napping one came up. We're not going to call you out on the radio. I'm actually going to drop that gift off tomorrow. But we are so thankful for the ones that are here to keep us uplifted and to promote the show. Stay tuned for all the goodness that is coming. Martina, where can they find us?
You can find us on our website at martiniandbrands.com, which is actually going to be uplifted and get a facelift. We're working on that.
We're working on it.
Super
we have
excited.
Our team. Mm-hmm.
So martiniandbrands.com. You can find me on Instagram at TaiTamamama, Brandy at IamBrand33. You can find our podcast, Martini at Brands, at Martini at Brands on Instagram. Pretty much Martini at Brands for everything. Facebook, Instagram, our website, our Gmail. It's all the same. Keeping it simple. We're going to have some swag for you guys soon.
Swag's coming out.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be promoting more of our individual brands. I was sad to hear that Martina has put her blogging on hold. I'm definitely going to talk her up to it because it's something she was so passionate about. But we'll get her back in the group of things. I don't want her to put it on hold or stop it. We have to know that all projects have to run full throttle. Nip should have got you to know that. You put it on hold, let's get back to it. But you can check out content pretty much anywhere you see us. Follow, even if it's our Yelp reviews, follow. Listen to not what we just have to say, but, just vibe out with us. I always say, I'm not one of those people who want to give you advice. I just want you to see how I view life through my eyes, what our walks are. So vibe out with us. Again, we're building our team. So if you are writers, if you are engineers, producers, soundboard controllers, lighting, videographers, hit us up. Photographers, hit us up. We tested out a few things and we're still in the testing rounds, but we are looking to build our village. So we are looking for aspiring, very thirsty, driven people that are ready to come on board and work with a great duo.
I'm shaking my shoulders.
Look, she's shaking.
We need videos so you guys can see my dance.
So, but we'll get there. That was something that we always said we were going to do in the beginning was the videos, but our lighting and things were bad. We did some footage, just barely touching the surface. So, again,
we did it, and that's the most important step.
Yeah,
is to do it. So, see our example. Even if it looks crazy, it's hairy, your friend is telling you, I don't like how I sound. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. So, absolutely. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to coming on air
next week.
Bye.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.